see
Hi, it's
Gemma.
Gemma.
Thank
Hiya.
God. Hi. I think we just gone live now, Gemma, just to give you the heads up, ladies. Welcome. It says it's live, so I hope I've done it right. Fingers crossed, technical things. Yeah, we need to practice this more often, I think. So I apologize. Can you see comments from people watching or anything? I can see 1 watching, 3 watching. So fingers crossed we've done it right. If I haven't, I apologize. But this will be recorded, ladies. So if worse comes to shove, we can share it later as well, to be honest with you. Sue's just met. She's watching on Facebook. So at least we know Sue is watching. So I'll say welcome to the lovely ladies from, am I saying it correctly, Evabold? Is that how you say it, or Evabold? What is it?
Either or. To be honest, when we first created the name, it was Evabold because it was more like forever and Evabold.
Nice.
However, so many people call it Evabold now. It's one of those. We don't really mind. The name Eva is one of the reasons we chose Evabold, because it means full of life and live long, and all different connotations of being full of life in many different cultures. And then we added the bold onto the end of it because we wanted to be bold flavors, bold brand, bold in business, and so that's the reason behind the name.
That's really lovely. Cool. Can you see at the bottom of your screens where people are commenting saying hi? Can you see that, ladies? Or
no?
Right. Okay.
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
you can switch it across.
So Tracy is on the comments,
Yeah.
but we can't show them
Yeah.
in the chat, so they can't. So no one on the on YouTube or anything will be able to see them. You have to flick on it, and you can.
I see show, is it?
Show. But
Yeah.
there you go. But I don't know. We used to be able to do that, so I don't know
Yeah. I
if
can
there's
see them
something
now.
we can do. So
Yeah,
we can do that because you'll be talking.
Okay then, so it's the 1st of March. I would like to say happy St. David's Day to you all, ladies, as I'm the Welsh nutter on here. I can say it, to be fair. I have no idea where you actually live in the country, so please, I hope I don't offend anybody. But thank you so much for joining us on this couch time tonight. And it's an informal chat with our members, and we just like to spread the news about people who are our friends to Keto Fitness Club, but also just spreading the word about living low carb and keto lifestyle. So no pressure. If you don't want to answer anything, you don't have to. I'll be gentle. Dan's on, my friend, now. Was it only ladies tonight? Budge up then. He's a regular, Dan is, that comes to say hi to us. Sarah says evening. So, well, I think we should start with, you've explained the name, which is absolutely lovely. So how did you two, shall we say, start up, shall we say? Where did you meet then? Because we know who you are. You were at Kestival with us last year, and, many of us have bought some of your lovely products. But, how did you two ladies meet and create this company, shall we say?
So Alison and I actually met about, I say maybe 7 years ago now. It was actually a business accelerator program. So it was for new entrepreneurs and new businesses. At the time, 7 years ago, we started our own separate businesses. We didn't know each other. We both live in Leeds, in Yorkshire, and we were accepted on a mentoring program, which was run by eSpark, subsequently NatWest Bank. And we're setting up our own businesses. We're on a 6-month program. It was amazing. Like, we got mentoring and coaching, free office space in the centre of Leeds. And through that program, we got to know each other. And obviously at that point, we were doing our own thing, running our own separate businesses, service-based businesses as well, very much providing digital services. I work a lot in international trade and exporting. That's been my background. So we were doing our own thing. And continue to do that after the program, became friends just through kind of that connection. And then it really was sort of during lockdown where you know.
The lockdown project's come to fruition, basically, isn't it? Kept us sane in lockdown and insane out of lockdown now.
So that's kind of how it started. Yeah, then the lockdown project, and just being, I think, being at home, not being able to go anywhere, and just having a bit of a reflection around, okay, what do we actually want to do, and what do we want to give? And obviously, yeah, we had other businesses we were working on, but in terms of wanting to work on something project and that we're passionate about as well, like we're both into eating and healthy nutrition, in fitness in different ways as well. And we started working on the idea of being able to bring something out that catered to low carb and ketogenic lifestyles that we both follow, but equally, because we're active and we're quite into fitness, the sort of protein side, feeling that we were lacking a lot of the keto products on the market were lacking that kind of slant with adding a good amount of protein in there. So that's where we started developing the idea on that side of things. Plus, also, we were very busy sort of individuals on the go, I guess, modern women who, again, that kind of snacking convenience, portion size, what you see with Evabold, with the products that we have, is a kind of also a representation to some extent of us, of kind of, we'd want something that, there's amazing recipes out there and you can do all sorts of stuff yourself, but when you're busy and life is busy and you still want to stick to what you know is good for you and be able to take something that is nutritious and on the go, we wanted to be able to offer something in that space as well. So
what were your businesses before? Were your business before anything to do with what you are doing now?
Mine was international, so very much helping companies to internationalize. So it was, my background was working with healthcare, actually. So previously orthodontic products, medical devices for hospitals, then moved into food supplements, which took me into the sort of food area, and then into food and drink. So to some extent, but they weren't necessarily low carb ketogenic products, if that makes sense. So, and very international, or usually not UK based.
Yeah, my side, no, is the straight answer. So I build websites, a lot of digital marketing side of things to help businesses show up online. So obviously, like a lot of businesses, when the pandemic hit and we were all in lockdown, no one needed marketing because businesses were closed. So my business kind of shut shop as well. And having this to concentrate on in lockdown, it did genuinely keep me sane, keep me, something to focus on, something to work on. And as Victoria said, Victoria's more of a gym fanatic than I am. I'm more of your outdoors hiking adrenaline junkie. But yeah, we wanted to bring something out that was as clean label as it possibly can be, because there's so many protein bars out there that are full of, additives, and you read the label, it's like, what am I putting into my body? So no, I'm not a food background.
So before that, before you sort of thought about going down the clean, extra protein, things like that, were you aware of keto and low carb, or was it doing your research you then sort of realised that might be the route that you'd go down?
Yeah, we both follow a low carb diet lifestyle for many years now, and more recently the keto side of things, a little bit more extreme. But yeah, so previous to the business, that's the type of lifestyle we were leading anyway, and it was trying to find a balance between the keto products that were low carb and brilliant, but something that's higher in protein as well. And plus, there wasn't anything really savory out there, which is why we started with the savory bites. I miss crisps. I like a pack of crisps, and you miss that savory crunch type of product when you're following a low carb diet.
That's what I miss most, is the crisps and the bites. They're handy. You feel like you got the packet, so you're having that, open the pack, it's part of the experience. So yeah, because I like the bites. Yeah.
So
yeah,
what are your products? Do you want to tell us what your different products you've got there? You said you start with the savoury. What else
Yeah.
have you got?
So the savoury, we've got 3 flavours to the savoury. So they're like small crackers, basically.
Are we going
Victoria's
to get a
rustling
show?
in the background.
Got
Get
some.
one.
I've got some. I was getting some samples out actually. So yeah.
There's one we made earlier. So yeah, we've got a black onion seed, which has got activated charcoal in, 100% natural ingredients. So, you know, really clean label, good seeds, full of seeds and goodness.
This
Then
one
we've
got a Nourish Award, didn't it? We got the Nourish Award for
Yes.
Best Keto Product on
Yeah.
this last September as well. So we won that, which was exciting.
Yeah, then we've got rosemary and pink salt.
I love that one.
I was going to say that's one I tried, I think, at Kestival, and it was gorgeous.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we worked so hard on the recipe. Just to start with, they just crumbled and were in bits. So it didn't work. Then the flavour wasn't quite there, and it was just going backwards and forwards because we wanted them to be really punchy in flavour as much as possible. But back to your question, the third flavour is za'atar. So za'atar is a Middle Eastern spice mix, very popular in the UAE, and they eat, which is something I tried a few years ago when we were away together with Victoria. They have za'atar bread like we have garlic bread in the UK.
Okay.
So they spread za'atar, some olive oil, and it was the most divine thing.
It's a very unique flavour, isn't it? I wouldn't be able to tell you what's in it.
Yeah.
If I tried, but it's very unique. But again, I like them. My husband's not so keen, but then he loves your bars because he takes a bar to work most days to keep in his bag. So, and your, I'll just say this, your, I think it was on Instagram this week, your news about the orange flavour made his day. Because he absolutely loves the orange flavour. And when I was telling a few of our members last night, I'm sure the orange flavour is here to stay. They were like, really? I'm sure it's limited. I said, no, I think it's here to stay,
It is.
We made the
definitely.
decision, didn't we?
We brought it out near Christmas because, Terry's chocolate orange and that type of product, we thought it'd be really good to have something limited edition at Christmas, but it's literally just gone like that, and it's surpassed our expectations as far as sales, because salted caramel was the leader at the time, but now the chocolate orange has definitely pimped to the post, as you say. So the bars, we've got 3 flavors now. We've got the coffee mocha, salted caramel, and the chocolate orange now is definitely here to stay.
You've played with other flavors as well, though, haven't you? I think I've had a different flavor off you.
Yes.
We brought some to Kestival because we wanted feedback, because I was really keen on Alison was on the choc orange bandwagon completely, and I was like, I do like that as well, but we were looking at like either a cookies and cream sort of flavor or like an Irish cream, so a bit like like the Bailey's kind of flavor. Again, we were looking initially for something Christmassy and sort of limited edition, and sort of an Irish cream. So because obviously Bailey's, a lot of people like that Christmas, but you can't. You look at the nutritional of it, the carbs and everything else. It's just but in a bar and having that flavor, but we just couldn't quite nail it. And the chocolate orange, when we were testing it, and Kestival was an amazing platform for us to be able to speak to your community and just say, look, what do you think? Be honest. And everybody was, which was amazing. They were just like, it's just not quite right, and something, different feedback. Some people really liked it, then some people really didn't, or didn't feel it was quite there on the flavor that we were saying it was. So we kept going. We did some more iterations, but ultimately we kind of decided for now that just wasn't to our level of where we needed it to be. Like for us, it's so important that the flavors, and if it's not wow for enough from the
it has to taste good. It has that's the point, is to try our very best to make these healthy bars.
So is there any sneak previews of watch this space of flavors to come?
We are looking, yes. I can't say too much, but we're also open to suggestions as well. If there were people that did have some sort of feedback or burning kind of flavors, I still want to work on a kind of a more chocolatey type flavor. One of the ideas that I've been sort of playing with and we've discussed is kind of almost having like a Nutella flavor, like a hazelnutty Nutella keto
Yeah.
bar. So it's kind of got that hazelnutty flavor, more so.
Yeah,
than
we've done a bit of development on that, but again, with the flavour's not quite right yet. So it's a case of going back to the drawing board and trying to nail the flavour. But
So
we'll
do
certainly-
you? So you're saying sort of you're going back to the drawing board and you want to get it right. So do you make it, or do you have manufacturers that make it?
So we have a manufacturer that makes it. We do the tasting and testing. Our friends and family, to be honest, they're the most brutally honest people when it comes to telling us if something's good or not. And yeah, we go back to the manufacturer, and we also deal with a nutritionist as well, because that's really important. Yes, we want the flavour, but we need to get the nutrition's right as well. And it's a case of going back and saying, look, we increase the flavour. It's always me going, more.
Well, as you can see by the stream, quite a few were asking for chocolate mint. I think I would support mint.
Yes.
That, to be honest, that one we could do, because we could add the oils. Like it's natural. So again, when we're trying to add the flavors, we don't want to have anything that's too. We don't want synthetic stuff or anything that's not a good ingredient. So something like peppermint oil and mint oil, we can do without too much trouble, because what we use on the oranges, it's a natural orange oil. That's all we use. We just get it to the absolute maximum of a level that allows the texture to still kind of, and for it to stay together, consistency, without it being too far the other way, basically. So
and I was just going to say, Jane has said she would like to get the taster box and test it. I think that's a good way, and it's great that your company does that, because quite often you have to buy a lot of something, because that's how it's sold. A lot of the keto stuff is sold in bulk, isn't it? It's awful hard to just take something and try it.
I think you do 20% discount for new people, don't you? So if Jane hasn't done before, she could get 20%.
Sign up for an email and get it.
You get 20%. I mean, the tasting boxes are stuff that, to be honest, we keep doing it. We don't make anything or money on it. We pretty much, to be honest, by the time we've shipped it and we've kind of put it all together, we have to box it all up usually ourselves and kind of pull it all together. It's not by any stretch of the imagination.
We pretty much break even. We don't make any money on it, but it's a way to get our products out there. And if people like them, it's the hope that they'll buy, full box.
Well, I can put my hand up. I've bought a few times from yourselves, ladies, and I've always been happy. My husband's been happy. So even the kids, to be fair, as young as they are, because I try to promote some of the healthier snacks to them. Ethan liked the I think it was the rosemary one and the onion one, but he didn't like the
za'atar.
But again, being 8 and his flavour and all the rest of it, Lee hides the orange bar, because I feel like that's the family winner in this house, And sometimes he just doesn't want to share,
So Lulu's put here that Victoria was very friendly and helpful when she brought bars last year, and the salted caramel were lovely.
Oh, yeah. I had such a good day. Honestly, I know you all did as well. I was buzzing, but I was absolutely exhausted, because I remember we'd been on the bounce from other things. It'd been super busy and traveling down, and I was, but the energy that everybody had there at the event, and just the positiveness, and do you know what was so nice, because we've done other shows before, But because this was just specifically for ketogenic followers, not having not to explain what it was and what it was for and what does keto mean, and just people with obviously different levels of knowledge, but you guys obviously are so well versed in this, and obviously through the community and helping to educate everybody and be so supportive to each other. It was such a good day.
Yeah,
and
I
people
remember
was,
we had a call, didn't we? And you were absolutely buzzing. I was gutted that
Yeah.
I missed
I was going
it.
to say, Alison, you missed out.
I know I did.
But
We
you
did have one
haven't. I was
this
saying,
year, yeah.
out, yeah. We haven't decided this year, to be honest. So we're thinking of doing things a little bit differently this year, and ideas are going back and forth, but nothing has been formed, shall we say? So
Okay.
it's just a matter of watch this space. We're well aware of the cost of living for everybody as well, and we're trying to make it work for everybody, you know. So
Yeah.
But I do believe that some members may see you in a few weeks' time, because we know we've got quite a lot of members going to the Bristol
Yes.
Keto
Food.
Festival.
Yeah, and you guys are going to be there, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good show. It was brilliant last year, and I think it's going to be bigger and better still this year.
Definitely. So our sister company are going to be there as well. So a lot of us are going to be there. Tracy, you are going, aren't you? You're just going for the day, aren't you?
that's the plan. Yes, that's the plan.
And I'll be there and everything. So that will be be really, really good. So we'll be able to see you in person.
Absolutely.
And it is lovely to meet people in person. You know, like we've just had Gemma. Did you go to the members meetup last weekend? No, you didn't, did you? No, but a group met up. I don't want to get this wrong now. Tell me, Nottingham, was it Nottingham?
Yeah, it was Nottingham.
And the feedback is they always love it when they can get together, whether it's for a couple of hours or a weekend, like some of us, you know, because I'm always, up for keto travels, as I call myself occasionally, like, isn't it? But you two have traveled a lot further than I, because like I've gone to New York and I wore my branded T-shirt in New York and had coffee in Times Square just as a day for the community or a promise. But you two, I think, have travelled a little bit further for your brand and your company, haven't you?
Indeed, yes. We've just got back from Dubai. We were doing Gulf Food, which is a huge food exhibition, and the government, the Department for International Trade, offered us a free space on their pavilion. So we had a little 50-centimetre little stand. So we were there banging our drum and promoting our products. And yeah, it was a really good, a lot warmer over there than it is here as well, which is always good. But yeah, super busy week, and it's been really good, hasn't it, Vic?
Yeah, it was really good.
So were there, what kind of stalls were there? What?
Oh, everything and anything. I mean, food, it was a generic food show. So it wasn't a specific one. It was just anything. So they had entire halls of like meat and dairy, but from people around the world. Absolutely, there was 5,000 exhibitors. Like that's the scale of it. It was crazy. And then the UK side of it had their own like pavilion, and they were letting, they'd selected a few brands that they wanted to come on, and they'd paid for the stand. So we had to sort of apply for it. And they accepted us and let us come on the stand, which was an amazing opportunity.
Wow, what I was going to say, what an honor to be chosen. How many people applied? Like,
yeah, loads, because it was free. Because the cost of like having a stand at these shows is absolute. I mean, we couldn't have afforded it.
No,
absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
So the fact that we just had to get ourselves over there, and then we had, just that place to have people coming and trying it, promoting, talking about the product, and was just amazing for like 5 days. So we had a really good show.
We had our little rucksacks full of products, and we were scurrying around the show.
So how did you manage? I was just going to say, how did you manage to get your products there? Did you take them in a suitcase, or did you post them out?
Victoria had 2 suitcases.
Oh yes.
I had a suitcase, and a backpack, but we had to be a bit frugal with giving out samples, to be quite honest. Unless someone was really interested, but there were a lot of people there for a free feed. I'm like, this is gonna last all week.
Yeah.
So is it something that you could do again now that you've done it once, or will they? Is it a once in a lifetime?
I'm not sure, because we were speaking to them on the last day actually, and they were really pleased with the group of people. It was really buzzy, good vibe, really nice stand. But they're huge advocates of women who own businesses, and the fact that they had a lot of female owners on the stand this year. So fingers crossed there might be a possibility to do it again.
Oh, tidy.
See.
So, I was going to say, where can we find you? So you have a website, I believe, yes? I don't know how to do it, but we will share a link. Don't worry, I'm just messaging Sue now.
So
they can find and
Tracy,
Instagram and Facebook, I believe, isn't there?
sorry,
Yes.
Tracy, in the message that I've sent you,
Okay.
on Facebook, you can copy and paste it. Who's just put that food festival one in?
Oh, Sue. I think I've just
Sue.
Sue. Yeah.
Oh, so Sue will be able to go on to
Yeah, she's
Evabold
doing it.
website
Thank you,
and
Sue.
put that on it. How
Yeah.
come Sue can?
Don't know. We're not going to jinx it, okay? We'll leave it as it is, to be fair.
Well, she is Ninja Sue, isn't she? So, she's just
Yes,
away the background.
Do you know why she's called that?
No.
Why?
No, because we've got I don't know how it all started, but a few of us brought a Ninja Foodie, which is like a slow cooker, pressure cooker thing.
Yeah.
And then it involved, and then it was a big thing that basically nearly every member had or brought a Ninja. And
But they were scared to death of using them, weren't they?
Yes,
So,
especially the
yeah.
pressure cooker. But Sue's very much like, that's it, you've got to use it like this. So she's done a lot of YouTube videos on how to use your Ninja. And so that's why she's Ninja Sue.
That's a cool name, to be fair.
And
Ninja
apparently, here's her thing. She's got more views on her videos than anything else within the KFC. I should say KFC, sorry, Keto Fitness Club. That's me dropping abbreviation there. She's very popular on YouTube. She has more hits than anybody else. So that's her claim to fame. She's just, as she said there, what's she got?
104,000.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're an influencer, Sue.
Yeah, they do they do. Hence, then on a Sunday afternoon every other week, Sue and I do short and shorter cooking for the members, and that's a bit of a comedy act because the both of us are both quite short, as you know, Victoria. I'm not going to say how short Sue is, but she's shorter than me, so I won't do that.
Not by much, to be fair for Sue.
Only a centimetre.
That's impressive, 104,000. Put my neck. Yeah. Ninja should be sponsoring you and sending you
exactly
all their appliances.
I think we do need to look into that a bit more, actually, about sponsorship and stuff for Sue. Definitely.
So your brand is amazing, ladies. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions about your personal life, if that's okay. Because why did you come to low carb, and why keto then? Because Victoria, you're more keto than low carb, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, I try to be. Obviously, traveling last week was a little bit challenging, to say the least. As you know, being away as well, the routine is very difficult. But yeah, I mean, I've been low carb probably for about 10 years, and then I think slowly as you go on that journey, and then obviously the last few and starting the business, I've definitely become more focused on being more ketogenic and seeing the benefits of that, and intermittent fasting as well. Started doing more of that as well. I used to follow the 5-2 a few years ago when I was on a weight loss kind of kick, and that helped to some extent, but I wasn't looking at what I was eating. It was more like just calorie restrict, basically. So it worked, but in terms of feeling good and sustaining it, I think it's definitely flipped more into intermittent fasting and a more ketogenic lifestyle. But yeah, it was. I mean, it started back 10 years ago with an initial weight loss. Was when one of my friends was getting married, and in France, lovely chateau place, and I just put quite a bit of weight on, and it creeps on, you don't realize. And we'd gone bridesmaid dress shopping, and I was one of the bridesmaids, and just couldn't get into some of this stuff. And I just thought, no way, like this was like the January time, and she was getting married in the August, and that was the start of going low carb initially, calorie restriction, and just getting active again. And then it just kind of carried on from there, really. Joined a gym and for the first time, and then it just developed from there, really.
So obviously, like some people, a lot of people, they join it initially for weight loss, which you've said. So what keeps you in the lifestyle then?
I mean, for me, but you see, I notice the difference if I slip for a bit, I find, or if I come off, I just feel bloated. I feel, if if I end up consuming the carbs, I don't feel very focused. I get tired, and I just feel really bloated and uncomfortable. If it just the times that I have had something and then it just hasn't agreed with me, or absolutely and then you just think it's not worth it. It's a bit like drinking. I don't really drink a lot of alcohol these days, and it's just the aftermath of it, it's not worth it. So for me, I just remember the times when I'm in that good phase, feeling good, focused, energy, everything just comes into place for me. Sleeping better, and looking after yourself. That also gives you more confidence in who you are, and just working socially, business, everything. For me, it just all feels like it comes together. So that's why I stick at it, because I just feel great for it when I do.
It's the good feel factor at the end of the day, and your body is in a good place, basically, then, really, isn't it? What about you, Alison? Because you're low carb, I believe, yeah?
Yes, low carb. I've dipped in and out of keto, but I've been low carb, similar to Victoria, for about 10 years. And funnily enough, a similar story. So my brother was getting married and I was a bridesmaid, and they were living in Vietnam. So his now wife asked me what size dress I wanted for the bridesmaid. So it wasn't going to a shop and trying them on. She sent the dress. She ordered it online and sent the dress. And I tried this dress on and it was beautiful, like a champagne coloured silk. I looked like a stuffed sausage, a raw stuffed sausage, right?
Oh, bless you.
And I was like, oh, mortified. And I think I had about 5 months. I had a decent slog at it. So it was like low carb, high protein, hit the gym. And again, like Victoria, you just feel fantastic. You bounce out of bed in the morning and your mental health's better, and you're just more focused and just in a much happier place, I think, on low carb. And then when you fall off the wagon, that's for sure.
And I find, for myself personally, because you're for health reasons more than anything.
Yeah.
And with being away last week, the boys were tempted, and the boys had some stuff that was not technically low carb either, and had sugar because we were on holidays. But I find now, the longer I do this, the temptation didn't bother me, and there was carvery every night. So I think I was more carnivore while I was away than keto than anything, because there was eggs, meat and cheese, and that was good for me. And and again, I get what you're both saying. There's no bloatedness, my pain is in control and things like that. So I think it is easier the longer you do this lifestyle, and you just naturally make those choices then without thinking about it, once you know how good you feel, I think. And obviously the added benefit of losing some weight as well along the way. We all have benefited there, and like it. But I think it's the health side of it and the good feel factor that keeps most of us in the lifestyle then, shall we say. Definitely. So do you have any advice to somebody out there then? Because clearly you're at maintenance, ladies. You're both looking good. You both look very healthy. You travel the world. We do
try. I think advice-wise would be read the labels. Always read the labels, because there's a lot of products out there that claim to be healthy or healthier alternative, or they have it on the front of the pack and you immediately think, oh, that's a better option. But if you just have a quick read of the label and see what's inside, I think
I was having a conversation in work this morning, and this lady was sitting there saying, oh, I need to get some protein. So I was expecting now some boiled eggs or whatever. And she pulled out a banana. And I was like, I said, how much protein is in that banana? And she said, oh, I don't know, it's really good for you. I said, do you mean potassium rather than protein? Because I said, that banana has got no protein in it whatsoever. And she was like, what are you on about? I said, I'm telling you, that banana won't give you protein. And if you're after potassium, apricots and avocado got more in than your banana. And she said, how do you know all that? And I was like, oh, because I eat protein. I said, that's my first thing go to is, as we do in the group, build a plate. We tell everybody, pick your protein first.
Absolutely.
But I was like, banana. I was thinking, oh dear, she's way off there, like, but it's saying it in a nice way, like. And she was like, well, what would you recommend for this? And what do you recommend for that? And I said, X, Y, and Z, like, But it's interesting how people are not still getting that message of what is a carb, what is a protein, and what's fat, and it's amazing how misleading things are for people then.
Absolutely. And I think as well, because I've kind of had some family members sort of on the journey a little bit. They're still not at kind of where I am, but just trying to make simple swaps. My mum's pre-diabetic, so that's challenging, and my sister's got PCOS, and again, the low carb and keto lifestyle has been shown to be really good for people with people who are in those conditions or susceptible to that. So I've been trying to say, look, you can still have a breakfast cereal. If you're insisting you need to have a granola or some form of a cereal, just have it, a keto version of it, like the stuff that exists out there. Again, read the labels and make sure, but there are swaps you can make, and particularly initially, because she's again the same. Bread, I don't want to do without bread, I don't want to do without pasta and this. So it's like, okay, so there's sort of a period of transition of just swapping things out and just making better choices there. Do you still want to have it, but just take the lower carb versions. And there are, I think there's a lot of good stuff on the market these days, and people like ourselves in different areas of that are developing products, are making them taste as good as they can. So there's other alternatives out there, some better than others, obviously, but things exist out there that you can swap in and out for as you start there. And I think then gradually you sort of then start eliminating things or realizing you want something that's actually better in terms of, like, say, a better level of protein and fewer carbs, or just, also there's a lot to be said for just being a little bit more prepared and, always having a boiled egg on the go and a bit of meat in your, in a Tupperware or anything like that. I'm known for that. I'm just like, what have you got now? What have you brought with you today? And I'll just get out the most random bits of pieces of nothing that's carbs and protein sources. So
I agree. I think you're right in that it's a gradual process for a lot of people. I think it's when people go from having a high carb diet to jumping straight on, right, I'm doing keto because I want to lose this amount of weight,
and they want to lose it all in a month. In a month, exactly. I want to lose 5 stone in a month.
Yeah, but it's the hardest thing to do. Once you are following a low carb lifestyle and you're a few weeks in, you're fuller anyway because you're eating more protein and you're not eating those empty carbs that spike your sugar levels, and then half an hour later you fancy a bag of crisps, because you're putting better things in your body, and a higher protein, lower carb lifestyle. You don't reach for the snacks all the time because I find anyway, that you're definitely a lot fuller.
And as Sue just said, it's a journey.
Absolutely.
And it's a learning journey that we all have to go through, because each person's body is different, isn't it? And we all react differently to things.
Absolutely.
Okay, another ninja there.
Yeah.
Teresa's got a ninja.
Go and check Sue out.
How did you meet Keto Fitness Club? How did that relationship come about?
I think I'd messaged them. I'd seen them online when we first started, and I'd come across, we were doing some initial research and who can we work with, who can we collaborate with, who's out there in the keto community in the UK. And I came across the website and the Facebook page, and I think I reached out. Didn't hear back for a while, but then eventually Mark and Ella came back and just invited us to Kestival. Really, was the sort of said, look, we are doing this. It was a real success last year. Would you be interested in coming along? And absolutely, we jumped at the chance and said, yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of where it came from, really, because I could see they were doing some phenomenal stuff. I think what they've got and the support they give the community, and I just felt like we wanted to be a part of it if they'd let us in,
And I gotta say, it's testimony to how good your brand is, because I can tell now, Ella and Mark, they're very choosy, and they're very particular about things, which is rightly so, because there's a lot of companies out there, as you said, and have got the word keto on them, and there's nothing keto about their product at the end of the day, really, truthfully, when they just want to keep it simple and clean. But at the same time, especially now with the bakery side of things, for them, as with you, with your products, people do want convenience. Let's be honest with you. We're so busy. So the fact that, we're friends and we can promote each other, and, Dan Grief is another one from Deliciously Guilt Free, he's a really lovely guy. You most probably met him and talked to him at Kestival.
Absolutely.
And he's been on here as well, chatting. I did let him get a word in, I did stay quiet for a while, but so it is a testimony that how good your products are, that we're able to support.
It's really good to hear, because the reason we want to be involved in these communities is because we want the feedback. And we've been to so many different shows, and we've got our little sample bags, and we're like, oh, try this, and people are like, oh, it's disgusting, but we need the feedback from the people that following those.
So I was just going to say, what's your biggest challenge then that you've had to experience, shall we say, with the business?
Well, we had a bit of upset last year. Unfortunately, our manufacturer accidentally put an allergen, sesame seeds, into our product, so we had a full global recall, and that nearly put us under. It was pretty stressful, horrendous time, to be quite honest. We'd literally, not only just the thought of having an allergen in a product, and what if something happened to someone, and it's like, that's on us. That is the worst feeling, that thinking that you could harm someone. But so luckily, we got all the stock back, but it was a really tricky
and again
time.
That's down to your integrity as well, ladies, and that you did the full product recall and done everything that you possibly could, especially when it wasn't your fault either, if it was your manufacturer.
Still the same manufacturer, just out of interest? Are you still using them?
We are. They reacted and responded in the right way. They held their hands up and said, they're very sorry. Obviously, it did have an impact, and it's your brand reputation. No one thinks about the manufacturer at the end of the day. They just remember that brand did something wrong. But they helped us rectify it as best we could, basically. But
so you've got resilience, and you've overcome that, and you're talking to us today, so it's a learning curve for you as well.
Yes, definitely.
We're hoping, we're coming out the other side of it now. It was really tricky. That was like the end of the last year, and we just had to go underground, and all the things and the plans that we had for the new year. And obviously, January is a time that everyone's back up, onto like, looking after themselves again and thinking about keto. And we were just in survival mode, really, just kind of we can't even think about any of that, and all the promo and everything we wanted to do, and all the MPD that we had pipeline. We just had to fix the problems in front of us, and just try and make sure that we still had a business in the new year, really. So it was tricky, but thankfully, we've had an okay start to the year. We've obviously been out to Dubai and had some positive conversations there, so hopefully we can keep building now. And we've got the Keto Festival in Bristol to look forward to, and we just want to.
But it's brilliant. It's brilliant that you both can be honest, and I'll say it here. We said to you, what do you not want us to talk about? What don't you? And you straight away were like, actually, let's talk about it, because it is something that's happened. And like Tracy said, it shows your resilience. and it shows that your brand is brilliant and so good that it can come back from that, because a lot of companies wouldn't have been able to. And you have, so that's absolutely brilliant. And the one thing that I took from it both times, actually, when you said it, is that you had to have a global bring back, I can't remember the word.
Yeah, recall, yeah.
So the word global is like, wow, you're global. So where are you? Where is your global?
Honestly,
audience?
it was we were exporting to the UAE and Kuwait at the time, which is amazing. We hadn't launched yet. No, sorry.
We'd been on the shelf about 10 days.
10 days, yeah. We'd launched for 10 days. So we're on the shelf and we had this allergy alert. And I had to contact the Food Standards Agency, understand the process, what we need to do. I just knew we needed it all back as soon as possible. And I was writing the emails to our distributors in the UAE, explaining what we're going to do, how we're going to fix it, etc. And in the time it took me to write the email, the FSA had already told those different countries and our customers.
Okay.
So they found out before I was able to tell them. So it was another like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
It was
very quick.
impressive.
So how did you get out? So forgetting that, but the initial, you've got products in Kuwait and UAE.
Yes.
How has that come back? Is that because Alison, you were saying that your job before was global marketing? Is that how did you use your experience to get out there? Have you got contacts out there?
It's more Victoria for the
Yeah.
export side of things. So we've also worked together on Victoria's export business. So I do her digital side of the business and the website and things. But Victoria's got contact all over the Middle East. So
I mean, that's why you'll see as well, like the products actually have the Arabic on the back of the pack. So I don't know if anybody kind of ever noticed that with the products.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And the way that we put manufacturing expiry rather than best before, because that's something that in the Middle East they require. So basically, when we wanted to get the products out there, I knew from previous work and being in the market over there was a big opportunity on keto in the Middle East. It's bigger. I'd say bigger than, not necessarily, I don't know how do you quantify it, but interestingly, you see it in a lot of the supermarkets over there. You know, we don't really see it in our supermarkets because I think we use the online a lot more, and we've got other places. We have obviously communities and festivals and things like that people are running, whereas over there they don't really have that. But what they do have is they have the products in supermarkets, so like just on Carrefour and other like equivalent, you know, like you'd find in the UK supermarkets. So it's quite an interesting channel. So I could see there's a lot of appetite there. There's a lot of ketogenic products, and I knew how to make the products compliant for that region. So we were like, if we do the packaging from the get-go, it's ready to go. That's going to be a more attractive proposition than
and it's one of the when we were looking at building the business, because we were bootstrapping, so started from scratch with nothing, and looking at exporting and doing online sales in the UK seemed to be a better idea at the start of the business, because although we'd love to be in, you know, Morrison's, Sainsbury's, etc., there just isn't the cash flow to service those clients. And you know, you've got your 90-day credit terms. And I think
that Lisa's question there. Any chance of you being in UK supermarkets? This is probably what you're.
Yeah, not. It's not something we're looking at right now, just because, as I say, the amount of money you need behind you, and you know, the margins that they need to take.
So would you think of going on Dragon's Den?
Dragon's Den, hello.
Dragon's Den.
Alison's worst nightmare, probably.
Oh, absolutely not.
But I don't know.
Although I quite like Stephen Bartlett on Dragon's Den. I think he's really straight talking. He's quite nice on the eye as well, but he is straight talking and he's good. Whereas I think Peter Jones, and he can just be.
The thing is, like you said, in this country, the restrictions and the rules is so different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think keto is and low carb is now starting. You can see it's getting more and more popular in the UK now.
Yeah.
So it is starting before people. You know, we still got the other big companies, you know, for losing weight that people go to because they're everywhere, aren't they, as well? Because I went abroad the other day, last year, and I was thinking, oh, wow, they got that year. I didn't expect to see it advertised there. And I just think, you know, it's big in other countries, whereas here it's a small group of people, but it is getting... The knowledge is getting out there now, isn't it?
I think I think someone said it. So, like Jane put that about keto in supermarkets, they're not very keto. Someone else put keto can be in anything. And I think that is so true that the name keto, you can put that on anything. But to me, it's also a bit of a positive because it means that these companies are seeing that keto and low carb is obviously getting bigger and it's a good way to go. So they're thinking it from their marketing perspective. We'll put that new up and coming word on our products and we'll sell it. So for us, I think it's sort of it can also be seen as a positive that the name is getting out there and people go, oh, what's keto? And then they do their research and find good companies like us.
I'm sharing the screen with my cat here,
both
sorry.
us sort of thing.
Absolutely. But yeah, there's definitely, you know, we've been very lucky from an overseas perspective to get, like I say, thankfully the people that we had to go back to and say, yeah, take everything off the shelf, they've kind of been really good and stuck with us. So let's see. I mean, it's put us back on, like, you know, initial orders and getting reorders and everything, obviously, and we'd had to sort it all out. But yeah, you know, we've also just... Go ahead.
Go on. Sorry, no, go on.
No, I was just saying, Middle East has been kind of the focus, but we have just sent last week actually a little order to Hong Kong actually that we had come in as well. So we'll see how that one goes.
So if we got anybody out there who would like to order, I know Sue put the link up, or you know, want to try your products. Is everything in stock, ladies, or is there something not available?
Everything's in stock. We're pretty low on the 6 bites in a box currently, but everything else is in stock. So everything's in stock on our website, and I've also just sent the bars to Amazon for Amazon Prime. The bars are on Amazon Prime. We're planning to get the bites on Amazon Prime. They are on Amazon, they're just not Prime next day delivery yet. So hopefully in the next few weeks.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And I think, sorry to check with you, Alison, the full sample packs that we've got at the moment have got everything in, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got the chocolate orange in as well now, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you get 6 in there, so you get one of everything on the sample packs as well.
I'll most probably be ordering some orange bars for the hubby, So for anybody out there as well, if they sign up to your website, they get a 20% discount email back, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, as new customers, yeah?
Yes.
Fab. So, well, thank you, ladies. You've given us an hour of your time tonight, which is, you know, most precious gift to us all, your time, and thank you so much. And maybe we'll invite you back in a year's time, look, and we can discuss all the new products and flavours that you've got out there and what new countries you go into, you know. So
anything that you wanted to say. So Tracy and I are very good at asking the questions, but not asking, is there anything that you wanted to tell everybody out there?
I don't a lot. I'm just to echo that it was really good. We'd love to get involved this year with whatever you're involved in. We'll probably, hopefully, by that point as well, have some new sampling and new feedback we'd love to have. And just that it's been really nice being part of the community. I really enjoy the Facebook forums.
Yeah, because you're in the public group, aren't you? Are you both in the public group?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see many of the things going on in the group then.
It's a brilliant group, yeah. It's really...
Yeah, we welcome feedback. So
I'm just thinking that actually maybe we need to get you in the members group to see what goes on in the members, because we have 2 groups, you see. Yeah, we have the public group, which is over 15,000 members. And then there's a smaller group where we talk about and we support each other in our lifestyle. And that's a small membership fee. So that's Keto Fitness Club. But yeah, so it's slightly different, but there's a lot that goes on in both groups.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so we'll have to sort that out. But thank you so much, ladies. And hopefully some of us will see you in Bristol on the 19th of March. Just to clarify the date, it's Sunday, the 19th of March. It is also Mother's Day and the day after my birthday. I'm just getting it out there.
Same here. Same here. It's your birthday, 18th of March.
It is, yes.
Same.
So I'll be
The
sending
big
a happy
4-0
birthday
this
now.
year.
4-0.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Whose is tomorrow?
No, tomorrow is Sue. No, different member.
Okay. Sorry.
In our little smaller group, I'm known for celebrating everything. So when it's somebody's birthday, I kind of like to make a fuss. That's me all over, you know. So that's what I'm saying to Alison. I might stalk her now, find her, and send her for her birthday, say, you know, in March, like I do. You know, this is me at the end of the day. The group know me well enough by now, ladies, that yeah, that's why I'm the only Welsh nutter you like, you know. I can say it because it's me, but yeah, we really appreciate and thank you so much for your time tonight. So I'll just say bye to all the viewers out there and members. I'll see you tomorrow. We have Kick tomorrow night that is available to the public group as well, and that's 7:30, I think, the Kick. So feel welcome to join us if you want to, and that's just an introduction. Mark knows his stuff and he tells everybody, you know, he's really good at informing people of how to do things. So that's the Kick. I don't know if you ladies have ever been, but yes, it's very I love going. It's interesting and you always learn something. So yeah, just promote that out there. So thank you, ladies. I'm just gonna
you hang on, ladies, because we'll once we go
I'll just
live.
say bye all.
Bye.
Bye.